Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu wa maghfiratuh. Brothers and sisters, pay very close attention. It's a very important video, okay? But before we do, make sure you click the subscribe button. So, many of you guys know Charlie Sheen, very famous actor. At one point, he was one of the most paid actors in the entire West. And he's known for his infamous lifestyle of drug abuse, alcohol abuse, and sleeping with a whole bunch of women. In fact, at one time, he was in a relationship, a long-term relationship with two women at the same time, one who was a model, one who was a porn star, right? So that's the kind of guy he is. Strings of prostitutes, everyone knows about it, he's open about it. That's the kind of guy that he is. Now, the reason I'm making this video is because he was recently come out to say that he's been HIV positive for the last 4 years.
I'm here to admit that I am in fact HIV positive, and I have to put a stop to this onslaught, this barrage of attacks and of sub-truths and very harmful and mercurial stories that are about that threatening the health of so many others, which couldn't be farther from the truth.
And the reason I want to talk to you is not because I want to talk about Charlie Sheen, but I have some really important thoughts that I want to share with you guys on this issue. The reality of the matter is that most of you guys who are sitting and listening to me have done zina, in other words, fornicated. You're fornicators. Or you have in the past done it and repented from it. Or you're doing some madness like watching pornography. Or you haven't yet done it, but you want to do it. You want to do it. You have dreams and ambitions of doing it. And then there's the small minority who Allah saved, who have protected themselves from it and have no desire, not gone near it, alhamdulillah. But the reality is that we live in the 21st century and that is a very small number. So let's not beat around the bush, brothers and sisters. This is a problem, okay? Zina is a problem. Now, why am I bringing Charlie Sheen into the picture? The reason I'm bringing Charlie Sheen into the picture is because, look, he's a guy who, obviously, when you live the kind of life that he lives, don't you use contraception? Use condoms for two main reasons, okay? You use them, number one, so that the other person doesn't get pregnant, doesn't become impregnated with your child when you are doing zina, right? The second reason why the fornicators use condoms is so it can protect them from sexually transmitted diseases, HIV and AIDS. Now, I want you to pay attention to a hadith that the Prophet ﷺ said. He said, close to the end of times, you will see people doing filth, pornography, zina, all this filth. Zina will become rampant, the Prophet said. So much so that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will punish the people. How? Allah will send down a punishment. Allah will send down a disease, the Messenger said. Wallahi, the Prophet said, Allah will send down a disease the likes of which has never been heard of or seen before. Is that not AIDS? HIV? Is that not what that disease is? It came at a time when sexuality and promiscuity went out of control like it never has in the past before. And it came out of nowhere and there's no cure to it. And it's new. Something that totally just came out of nowhere. Now, brothers and sisters, my question to you is this. HIV is a disease that Allah sends down as a punishment. Yes or no? Good. Who does Allah send this punishment upon? Who, generally speaking, of course, there's some people that might get it due to other, medical reasons or whatnot. But generally speaking, who are the people who Allah sent this punishment for? HIV and AIDS. Is it not for the people who do zina? Is it not for the fornicators? That's true, right? Allah sent this punishment for them. Now, I want you to ask yourself another question. Do these fornicators, or rather you guys who are doing this sin, thinking about doing this sin, please pay attention. Do you guys think that by doing this sin and you using protection, i.e. your condom, contraception, do you think that you can ward off Allah's wrath? Do you think that Allah's wrath can't still touch you just because you've got contraception on? Do you think that Allah's ability is that limited that when He specially designed and engineered a punishment to ward off the people so they don't fall into fornication, they think that they can come with contraception and that's going to be a way that they're going to protect themselves from the punishment of Allah? Do you really think that? Brothers and sisters, wallahi, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you have to understand His power and the magnitude of Allah's ability. Wallahi, brothers and sisters, Allah tells us in the Quran that if you wanted to find safety, and you was to get every single person from the entire world to back you, weapons, artillery, armies to back you, make your way to the highest tower. If Allah wanted death to come to you, Allah will make it come to you even though every single person's on your side. And then Allah said, if you flip it and you wanted, and people wanted to harm you, everyone in the world got together to harm you. If Allah wanted to protect you, no one could harm you. Brothers and sisters, when Allah wants to do something, the laws of the world, they cease. Remember Khalid ibn Walid radiyallahu anh, when Musaylama Kadhab, the false prophet, when they captured him, he had the poison with him and he said, I'm going to drink this, because it was too humiliating for him to be taken as a captive. Musaylama Kadhab said, I'm going to drink this poison to kill myself. Khalid ibn Walid said, give me that poison. He said, this poison, wallah, it can't touch you if Allah doesn't wait for it to touch you. He said, I'll drink it right now. Watch. I'll drink it right now. He said, Bismillah alladhi la yadurru ma'asmihi shay'un fil ardi wa la fis sama'i wa huwa as-sami'ul alim. He said, with the name of Allah, there is no harm that can affect anyone in the heavens and the earth except with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's permission. If He doesn't will to harm you, nothing can harm you. So he drinks the poison and he's surviving right there. Are you forgetting Ibrahim salamun alayhi? Ibrahim alayhi salam, are you forgetting? When they wanted to throw him into the fire as a means of punishment, what did they do? The fire was so big that they couldn't get close to throw him into it. It was so big from far. You know when you see a fire, you don't see the fire, you see the smoke. This fire was so big from far, they would see the fire. They couldn't get close enough to it, it was that hot. They had to invent something called a catapult. That's when the catapult came from far. They launched him, Ibrahim alayhi salam, and they threw him into the fire. What did Allah say to the fire? Fire that burns flesh, wallahi. Allah said, be calm and peaceful for Ibrahim. Brothers and sisters, when Allah wants something to go one way, He makes it go away, and no one can get in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now I want you to pay attention. How is it that you think that you're doing zina and you're doing this fornication? I know, look, please don't take it as me judging you, don't take it as me being harsh, but sometimes remember what Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah, the great scholar, he said that, you know, when you have dirt on your hand and it's not getting off, you scrub hard. That hardness with which you scrub, it's not because you hate your hand. You love your hand. You're trying to clean it and purify it. It's the same way when you advise someone, you have to advise them a little bit hard. It's not because I hate you, because I love you. And sometimes you need to go hard to purify the dirt that's in us. So brothers and sisters, pay attention. How is it that you think that you can do one of the greatest sins, disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? One of the greatest, filthiest sins. And Allah won't deliver His punishment to you. You think a condom can get in the way? And if not.
Yeah, and brothers and sisters, I just wanted to mention a couple of things to you guys. Obviously, you need to understand something. Would this condom that you're wearing, yeah, is it going to protect you from the angels writing the sin of zina down? Is it going to protect you from the hellfire? Is it going to protect you from... We know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can see anything everywhere. Do you really believe that this condom is going to protect you from Allah seeing those sins? So you need to understand that for you to think... You know, for you to think that, okay, I'm just using this as a protection, you're fooling yourself. Yeah, because at the end of the day, like Imran said, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to get HIV, do you really think, like, you need to understand something? Sometimes we think when we plan something, like for example, let's say I'm somebody and people are after me and I'm scared of death, yeah? I get a car, bulletproof windows, everything, I got this James Bond car. If Allah wills, a heart attack in that car and I'm dead. So do you understand the point? You can protect yourself from all kind of barriers, all this kind of stuff. But Allah will get you with a heart attack. Allah will get you with anything. And then boom, you're dead. So what does that mean? You plan and Allah plans. And Allah's the best of planners. And for you to think with your little brain that you're planning against the one who has created you is stupid of you. Please forgive me. But it's ridiculous of you. You're planning against the one who created you. So brothers, think about this. This protection that you're talking about, forget HIV. People fall for it, people wear it and they still catch diseases. Forget that, man. Do you think it's going to protect you against the angels, like I said before, the hellfire, and Allah seeing you? No, it's not going to. So think about what you're doing.
Oh, wallahi, jazakallah khair, akhi, man. And I just want to add on to that. No, wallahi, akhi, jazakallah khair, man. And I just want to add on to that, right? What Ali said is the fact that, say for example, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't deliver His punishment to you in this life, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah An'am that sometimes, فَتَحْنَا أَبَوَابَ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ, Allah says we open the doors of every success for them in this life, and then we wait till they حَتَّى فَرِحُوا, until they're at the peak of their enjoyment. Allah said then we grab them. Baghtatan, we grab them, then we destroy them. So it may be that you're having your little fun, but then death's gonna come to you. Remember, at the end of the day, brothers and sisters, wallahi, pay attention. Every sin that you do, remember, Allah said, وَأَنَّ إِلَىٰ رَبِّكَ الْمُنْتَهَى. At the end of the day, everything goes back to Allah. You're gonna go back to Allah. Brothers and sisters, Ibn Kathir rahimahullah brings the hadith of Mu'adh ibn Jabal radiyallahu anhu. When the Prophet explained muntaha, going back to Allah, what it means. The Prophet said it means when you go back to Him, either you go back to paradise or you go back to hellfire. And brothers and sisters, have you thought, put the punishment to the side. Wallahi, if Allah wants, Allah can cause, already the doctors tell you the contraception enough is not guaranteed. Any time the condom, it'll bust, and then through it, you can impregnate the girl. What are you going to do? One of two, if you're not married to her. Listen, pay attention. Sister, if you're not married to you, one of two things is going to happen. Either you're going to have to go kill that baby, you're going to do abortion. And wallahi, murder is worse than zina. And the murder of a child is worse than the murder of a general person. And that's something that Allah will, on the Day of Judgment, that's zina and murder you want to go to Allah with, or you're going to have to go through this disgrace of your family raising that child, and you're going to have to do it. You're going to destroy that girl's life. Sister, you're going to destroy your life, and you're going to have to raise that baby. And guess what? He can't be the father. Because if you want to be the father, Islamically, you want to be the father, you cannot be the father unless it's through marriage. If you're not married, you're not no father. So brothers and sisters, remember Allah. Right, the reason you're doing this is because you have no shame of Allah. Right, can you imagine? You would rather your mum see you steal than see you do zina. You would rather Allah see you steal than see you do zina, but you do zina before Allah. And you have to fear Allah, wallahi. Because if you can do zina, the Prophet said you can fall into any crime, even shirk. That's why you need to learn your religion. Brothers and sisters, I can tell you stop zina, but that won't solve the problem. You need to learn about Allah. That's why I beg you, I urge you, and I invite you to please sign up to the Survival Guide program. Wallahi, for no reason except that you can learn your religion. That's an online program that I put together for you guys so you can study Islam. MuslimSurvivalGuide.com. Please go to the link below if you have